Hi, Teacher Christine here. Today's lesson, we will be talking about materials and conductivity. In our MELC, we will discuss why some materials are good conductors of heat and electricity. Look at the pictures. What happens to them? In the first picture, the girl is scorched by the hot object. In the second picture, the boy is electrocuted. Do you want these things to happen to you? Of course not. A big no. We do not want these things to happen to any of us. That is why we have to study these things. Heat and electricity are two forms of energy that are very useful in our day-to-day living. Heat keeps us warm. Electricity allows us to use products that are brought about by technology. Heat can be transferred from one object to another, or from one molecule to another through the process of conduction. You see, when an object has heat, the particles that make up that object, called molecules, start moving really fast that they bump and move away from each other. The hotter the object, the more its molecules move. Heat starts to travel to other objects around it too, from hotter object to the cooler object. Conduction of heat and electricity is made possible by some materials around us. Different objects also interact with them. Heat is related in a way they conduct heat and electricity. Some materials have the ability to allow heat and electricity to flow through them because they possess the property of thermal conductivity. Thermal means heat, and conduct from the word conductivity, which means transfer of something. It can be heat or electricity. So when we say thermal conductivity, it means the ability of a material to transmit heat. Metals in general possess this ability. Thermal conductors are materials that allow heat to flow easily. Metals are good conductors of heat. The heat can easily flow in them. Just like how our cooking pans are made, we are able to cook our food easily because the energy is passed quickly between the particles in most metals. When you are cooking, the energy transfer of heat from stove to the food must occur effectively. Now, let's compare. When we say thermal conductivity, it means the ability of a material to transmit heat, while thermal conductors are the materials that allow heat to flow easily. Thermal conductivity is the process or the ability. Thermal conductors are materials. Now, let's have electrical conductors. They are materials that allow electricity to pass through easily. Examples are copper, silver, gold, aluminum, iron, steel, brass, water, animals, trees, and human. Our body is also a conductor of electricity because it is made up of 75% water. Conductors are also used in electrical wirings. Copper is the kind of metal most commonly used as electrical wires. In electrical wiring, metal or the wire itself is covered with plastic, sometimes rubber, that the current will not flow out and the person who will use the wire will not be electrocuted. Electrical insulators are materials that block or prevent the flow of electricity. Examples are plastic, wood, rubber, glass, ceramic, paper, and air. Thermal insulators are materials that do not allow heat to flow easily. You can observe that when somebody is cooking food, she is using some of the materials that are called insulators to avoid getting hurt from the heat coming from materials where heat can flow through easily. Insulators keep us safe also. This makes us understand why copper wires have to be insulated or covered with plastic tubing so we don't get an electrical shock. Remember, conductors are materials that allow heat and electricity to flow freely through them, while insulators are materials that do not allow heat and electricity to pass through them. Activity time! Identify the following materials if conductor or insulator. Let's begin. First material is book. It's an insulator. Gold bars, conductor. Silver ring, conductor. Pencils, insulator. Rubber bands, insulator. Tin cans, conductor. Iron nails, conductor. Metal spoon, conductor. Cloth, insulator. Dry leaves, insulator. This time, you have to draw a heart if the statement is correct and star if it is not. Metal is generally the best insulator. Heart or star? The correct answer is false or star because metal is generally the best conductor. Most conductors of heat are also conductors of electricity. Answer, it's true. So it's a heart. Poor conductors are also poor insulators. Answer, star. It's false. Poor conductors are also good insulators. Ductile materials like aluminum and gold are conductors of heat and electricity. Answer, heart. It's true. Electrical wires are covered with conductors to keep you safe from electric shock. Answer, star. It's false because electrical wires are covered with insulators to keep you safe from electric shock. I hope you did learn something from our lesson. Until next time, bye!